So welcome back to the continuing series on questions and answers that you have about buying and selling. But today I'm joined by Glyn, our mortgage advisor. Morning, Glyn.
Morning, Joanne.
So Glyn, another question I get asked quite a lot is what's the difference between a pre-approval and a letter of offer?
Okay, they can be one and the same thing.
Right.
I've had clients come in and say, I've been pre-approved by such and such bank to buy that property over there. And I said, can you show me your letter of offer? And they said, oh, actually, no, I haven't got it. All I've been given is a verbal pre-approval. And I said, well, in that case, it's not worth the paper it's written on because there's no paper. So a pre-approval, we get clients come to us all the time wanting to know how much they can afford to borrow and will the bank lend them that money. So that's the first phase, if you like, of getting some idea of budget and getting a bank to support that budget. So we get a letter of offer, and letters of offer from banks are always conditional.
Right.
They're conditional on several things depending on the client's circumstances or situation. But at the very least, it'll be dependent upon the property they want to buy.
Right.
The bank reserves the right to decide whether the property they want to purchase is good enough for them as security by way of a mortgage to give them a home loan to the client. So it's very important to make sure that a pre-approval is then followed up by, once the client finds a property, signs a sale and purchase agreement, possibly, that is acceptable to the bank before they can then be sure that the bank will fund the purchase.
So you're suggesting that even if somebody's got pre-approval, saying that they're actually allowed to spend up to a certain level, that they should actually put in a finance clause into the contract so that the sales and purchase agreement for that particular property can go back to the bank for their agreement?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because without that, they're not unconditionally approved for that property.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And look, that's great advice, Glyn, because I know that there are a lot of people out there who are thinking that they just because they've got the approval, that it's okay, they can go out and buy anything. But what you're saying is it's not true.
Well, no, it isn't true. Each property is different, as we know. Some properties have issues, some don't. Some will be at the right value as far as the bank's concerned when they do their research into whether their client is going to be paying the right amount for it or too much.
Yes.
And the last thing the bank wants is to take security over property that's not worth what the pre-approval budget says, and
Right.
find that it's worth considerably less. Well, they just won't lend.
That's great advice. Thanks, Glyn. I know that a lot of the people watching will actually have found that invaluable, and I know that I certainly have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Glyn, you've provided us with a great deal of information today. How would people get hold of you if they wanted to know more?
Sure. Well, Joanne, obviously they can get hold of you, and you know how to get hold of me, which is great. You're giving us some wonderful referrals over the years, which is fantastic for us. Get hold of me, Glyn Slade. My mobile number is 021 525 971. You can get hold of me also, Slade Consulting at mx.co.nz, Mortgage Express, that is, for MX. So just get hold of me that way, and if in doubt, talk to Joanne.